Yo, Zach in Portland, Oregon. Matthew here with free prescription lenses, and I want to show you how I cut clear lenses for your Ray-Ban 5121, the Wayfarer color 2000 original classic shiny black in the 50i size. So let me take it out of the original packaging that Ray-Ban sends it to me. This is your Ray-Ban case. It even has Wayfarer embossed on it. Pull this out, your Ray-Ban frame and your Ray-Ban cleaning cloth. I don't know why they come upside down so often. Someone over there in Italy has a poor sense of direction. But this is your frame and how they send it to me. They send it to me with a little plastic sleeve on your left temple to avoid scratching during shipping. Well, if they think it's a good idea to send it with one, well, by golly, I'm going to put a second one on there when I send it to you. So you'll have twice the protection now. But anyway, nonetheless, let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull all this off. I'm going to pop out your original demo lenses that say Ray-Ban on your left lens. I'm going to take this out and I'm actually going to put it into the bag so that you will receive it. You will receive everything that Ray-Ban sends to me. So let me put that there, and I'm going to put your Ray-Ban frame into the tracing element of my Santinelli edger. My Santinelli. The stylus has popped up and it's now tracing the shape of your right lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the shape of your left lens. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy the frame and you receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, which is what you have chosen this time. This is the awesome Geek Chic look. I sold a pair of these to a guy named Eric who was traveling the country doing the Buddy Holly tour. He's a Buddy Holly impersonator and was doing the musical all over the country. So I'm going to pull the shape up on the computer. And if this were prescription, I would put your pupillary distance in, but because these are just fashion lenses, I'm just going to have it match the frame. This is a polycarbonate lens being cut for a plastic frame. And I'm actually going to take it down a little bit because I know from experience that this frame has a deep bevel, and I just wanted to cut on size. So these are your lenses. Before I get started, I'm going to take them out of their protective sleeves. And I need to put this block on here while it's cutting. This is what's going to hold it into the chuck. So I'm going to put this block into my blocker. And 3M, the same people who make the Post-it notes, make the little sticky pads. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the lens, pull away the tape, making it sticky on this side. I'm going to put your lens up there, get it centered perfectly, and put that block on there. I'm going to do the same thing for your left lens. Take one of these blocks, take one of these 3M sticky pads, stick it on the lens, pull the tape away, get everything lined up, and we are good to go. So I'm going to take your right lens and put it into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck, even though we spend 12 hours a day together. Still don't call it chuck. So the calipers have come down. It's going to trace the the concave side of your lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes, and then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. All the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the left. It is that lighter color wheel. It acts like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your polycarbonate material. And this wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley that you see, that's what's going to cut the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door, but I just want you to see as your lens touches the cutting wheel. This whole process will take about 15 minutes. It's now 8:32 on Monday, May 19th, 73 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. So Zach in Portland, Oregon, halfway around the world, at least the other side of the country. Durham, North Carolina is halfway between Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, and halfway between Miami and New York City. So your lenses are polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. Your lenses are unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. If you notice your lens is completely flat right now, now it's going to put the bevel on there. It's so flat, just like the side of a nickel, it would stand up on its own if I were to take it out, but not anymore. Now the bevel goes on there. So yeah, your lens have both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. And if you just notice the water has kicked in, And that's washing away any optical debris, any optical sawdust that may be on the edge of your lenses. And as soon as this comes out, we'll try and get it mounted. Not only are your lenses polycarbonate, but they're also an aspheric polycarbonate, which means it has a flatter curvature, so cosmetically it's going to look better inside the frame. You won't have that cheap, ugly fishbowl look that so many cheap lenses will have. That's why everyone loves a bargain here, and no one is disappointed with quality. When you buy lenses online, you pay for plastic lenses, and then if you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight polycarbonate, you have to pay a fee for that. And then if you want to upgrade to the aspheric lenses, you pay a fee for that. So you're at 3 upgrades. I start there. You get that for free when you buy the lenses from me. So you still have a little bit of rough edges here that are left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to use my hand stone to smooth that out. And this is completely flat. I can put my hand on it while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction. But it's that friction that lets me put the safety bevel onto the lens. You can see that white powdery substance that's on your lens now. It's called Schwarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape that off. I do this so much I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. My friends call it my occupational thumbnail. But once that's all off the counter, off your lens and onto the counter, I collect it very nicely and cleanly into one pile, and then I wipe it onto the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So if you want to learn to make a mess, you got to stay in school like me. So to see if these fit, I'm going to tuck them in at the outside corner, push down the nose, they snap in perfectly. So I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing for the left lens and hit start. Now, Zach in Portland, I also have tinted sunglass lenses available. I have polarized sunglass lenses. I even have mirror coated lenses. So if there's any other lenses you need, and if you ever need prescription lenses for these, I can send them right to your home. You will see how to pop them in and out. In fact, let me take this block off. It is no longer needed. Pull the sticker off. And of course you can see as your left lens does the tracing here to make sure it's large enough to cut out. People like to watch this, so I'll let it go. And then I'll show you how to pop your lenses in and out just in case you ever want other lenses. I do sell them separately. So if you want polarized sunglass lenses, I sell them in 6 colors. The classic Ray-Ban G15, gray, brown, rosebound, blue, and shooter's yellow. But to take your lenses out, I turn the frame downward. I'm right-handed, so I grab the frame with my left hand. It's always with the thumb. It's always at the nose. So I place my thumb at the nose. I put my other thumb on top. Of course, I'm pinching down with my hands. I push down with the thumb. Out it comes in order to tuck them in. Now, I like to work on the empty side closest to me. I'm never trying to reach over the frame. So I turn it around where I have this side closest to me. I tuck it in at the side closest to me. Then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. It snaps in perfectly. Don't worry, you are getting unbreakable lenses. You will never hurt your lens by doing this. You'll never hurt the frame unless out there in Portland, Oregon, it ever gets really freezing. Your plastic will get brittle when it's at freezing temperatures and below. So just make sure your frame is at room temperature and you will never hurt this frame. This is a chunky Geek Chic look. It has the triple barrel hinges. It is the Ray-Ban 5121 color 2000 size 50 with a 22 bridge. 22 here, 50 here. That is 50 millimeters from the corner to corner and 22 millimeters at the bridge, and your temple is 145. So it does have the triple barrel hinge, which is the classic feature on the Wayfarer. One of the most sturdiest frames ever built. I am wearing the Ray-Ban 2132 new Wayfarer. That is the difference, the new Wayfarer and the Wayfarer. This is a little bit larger, plus it has a little bit more of an angle where it sits out away from the face. The new Wayfarer sits in a little bit closer. So I'm going to take your lens out, dry it off so it's not slippery, head back over to the handstone to put the safety bevel on there. Use my thumbnail to scrape away the Schwarf. And if you're a Mel Brooks fan, this is when you say, "May the Schwarf be with you," just in case you've watched Spaceballs. Once it's all on the counter, I collect it neatly, this time behind the back. Kids, look at that technique. You know you got to stay in school to learn that. So I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me. Push down with my thumbs, it snaps in perfectly. I'm going to take this block off, pull the sticker away. I'm going to dry everything off and hold it up to the light just to inspect to make sure there are no blemishes or scratches on your lenses. And we are perfect. And one last thing I want to do before I ship it to you is make sure it's in standard alignment. Now, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But if you get these and they're too loose or too tight or high on one side, and I have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I take mine off and press down on one side, there is a wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm going to do the same test. I press down on yours, there is no wobble. I flip it over, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, in the same amount of tension on each hinge. We are good to go. So if anyone out there has any questions about what I can and can't do, although there's nothing I can't do, but just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Zach in Portland, Oregon. I hope you enjoyed watching me as I cut unbreakable polycarbonate lenses for your frame. And everyone else out there got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.